This is Sizzle Lean, powered by Fit to Be Trained, coming to you from the Deep End Network Broadcasting Studios here in the lovely Virginia Beach, Virginia, in the United States of America. Do you want to be part of the 30-day or 60-day transformation? Then contact Karen, aka Sizzle, on any of her social media platforms at Fit to Be Trained. Now, here is your host of Sizzle Lean, Karen Dougherty.
I'm gonna let them clap for a while. I kind of need it.
Morale booster.
I do. I need a morale booster. I've had a great day, though. I gotta say, this week was just kind of weird, and the only thing I can say is maybe because it's spring, we're going through change. There was storms this week, wasn't there? Was that this week?
Oh,
Yeah.
the weather's been crazy.
Yeah, the weather's been weird. It's just been kind of weird. There's a little bit of feedback in my ears. Are you guys okay?
Mm-hmm.
I have a guest today, and I know I like doing a solo show, but I really like having guests on, and I even mentioned it last week that because I was looking forward to this one because last week we did a show on comparison and how comparison can be a tool too. It can be negative. We all know that. Like when you get on that comparison train and you start getting down on yourself, but you also can use it as a tool. And it came up that I was going to have a conversation with someone that is taking the GLP-1 medication. And I'm going to let her get into detail of what kind it is. I wonder if I back up from the mic a little bit, if that helps. But
maybe Alexis, can you turn the volume down on your computer a little bit, maybe?
Does that? Okay.
Okay. So yeah, that does help. So I have my friend Alexis on, friend and client, I might add, and like we're so tight. I think of her as a family member, to be honest with you. But I mean, that's beside the point. But I want people to know that I am not opposed to the GLP-1 that medicine, as long as it's for somebody that it's going to improve their life and they're using it for health reasons. But otherwise, sometimes people are using it for unhealthy reasons, and that's a whole different podcast. Because today I just wanted to introduce you, Alexis. And Alexis has been on my podcast before a couple of times, and she is a client of mine. She's a regular that does Pilates, and we've been working together for many, many years. And
11 years, I think, Karen.
11, right? And so just recently she started taking the GLP-1 drug, and from here I'm going to roll it right into you, Alexis. And if there's anything that I left out with the introduction, please do so. I'm a little bit I'm going to stop talking because of the feedback.
Oh.
I think my volume might be up a little bit. So I can already hear in your voice it's coming in nice and clear. So you go ahead and take it away.
Okay.
I do want to open the conversation with how you're feeling, and that you're going to share your story and what made you decide, because like you said, we've been working together for 11 years. When did you decide that enough was enough? You were going to give this a whirl. Do tell.
I would say probably around December was when I really started, November-ish, really thinking about it.
Why?
We've been working together a long time. And so because we've had this great relationship, I have a lot of great tools in my toolbox for my health. And I know what it means. It's not just a one thing, it's a combination of eating right, movement, having a healthy mindset. But even though I had all the right tools, and I was using the tools the way they're supposed to be, my weight is something that just did not want to budge. And after doing a lot of research and really praying about it, because there's all sorts of stuff when you search what a GLP, there's all sorts of stuff that comes up. Some of it's really good, some of it's
Interesting.
it can be scary, when you go down the rabbit hole of Google. um but once I did a
Right.
lot of research, and also after talking with my primary care physician at my checkup, I thought, why not give it a shot? If I don't
Did
like
your
it, I can always
primary suggest it?
actually, well, so the primary care physician was one of the influences, but also my mom's neighbor, who I've known my whole life. Her and her husband have been on it, and I've seen how successful and how happy they have been by using medication. And why not? So so the physician also said it doesn't hurt. But also, as a side note, he also wanted me to talk to a female doctor, which I did, because a lot of the times when you're struggling to lose weight, there is a core issue behind the
Oh.
the why sometimes.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at this medication as another tool in my toolbox. It's not just a quick fix thing. So, and so far, overall, it's been really good. In 3 months, I'm down 30 pounds, which is amazing. And, but it's with supervision. I do want to clarify that I talk to the doctor once a month and a dietitian once a month, on top of my workouts with Karen twice a week. So,
How did you feel emotionally? I kind of want to get into a little bit of what the frustration must have been like for you, feeling like you were eating right, because I knew you were. I
yeah,
know what you were working out. I knew that
yeah.
you were trying and always, you know, knew you trying to use your tools.
Mhm.
How did you feel? Like it was must have been very frustrating.
It was it was really frustrating, especially because my husband was doing this with me, eating really well, and he works out and he runs, and he was able to lose weight really quickly on his own, just from
Mm,
running. So I felt like I was doing something right, even though I knew I wasn't doing anything wrong. I still felt like I wasn't doing something right, because he was getting different results. And I know men are built different than women. I know that. But it's still that thing in your head going like, you're doing something wrong, you're doing something wrong. So that was
right, of course.
really frustrating. Um
Was your weight something that you've been dealing with for a long time? Was I know that you have 2 children.
mhm.
So, and I know your story, but I wanted to ask you, like,
Yeah.
did you feel like having the children made it harder or easy for you to lose weight? How was
Oh,
that?
I would say probably harder, in a lot of ways, but I feel like my whole life, when you go to the doctor as a child, you're like given the percentile of your height and weight as it when you're going to the pediatrician. I was always 95th percentile for height and 95th percentile for weight my whole life. And I would eat the same food and drink the same
Mm,
water like my sister and my parents. You know what I mean? And my mom,
yeah,
she cooks
right.
good, healthy, whole foods, but I felt like weight has something, no matter what I did, it's always something that I have felt um uncomfortable with
Yeah.
and
That's a good
struggled with.
word.
Mhm.
That's a good that you felt uncomfortable with. It didn't
Yeah.
overwhelm you, but it certainly was a source of uncomfortability. I
Right.
that's well said.
Mhm.
Um, what were the first few weeks like when you finally decided you're like, "Okay, I'm doing this." And maybe I should backtrack a little bit
Yeah.
because you are you're covered on insurance, aren't you,
I'm
for
very
your
fortunate.
medication?
Now, I do want to clarify because there are different types of medications. Some of the weight loss medications, the GLPs, are for people with diabetes.
Okay.
I don't have diabetes, so I do want to clarify.
Okay.
I am on Zepbound, so it's just strictly for weight loss. So I am on
So
those
is
medications.
Ozempic for diabetes? Because that's the one that you always hear about. Ozempic. And
Right.
I started just calling them GLP
Yes.
1 drugs because
So
that's like the mothership.
so from my understanding, there's Ozempic, Mounjaro, and there is a couple of others that are specifically for weight loss for people who are diabetic. But then they have a counterpart
Oh,
shot. Like mine is Zepbound, which is the shot for non-diabetics, and it's like the same as Mounjaro, but it's called Zepbound. So it's made for people who just want to lose weight but don't have diabetes. But they still do
and
the
I
same
wonder if
thing.
yeah, I wonder
But
what's different about it.
because it has to do with how it affects your blood sugar.
Got it.
That's from my understanding from reading it. So mine's just specifically for weight loss. It's not to do with diabetes as well.
And I
So
know you're covered with insurance. Is it something, and you might not be able to answer this because of the insurance, is it
right.
expensive?
Without
Is it? I
insurance,
don't know.
oh my goodness. If I didn't have the insurance, and I'm really fortunate, my husband works for the city of Chesapeake, so we have good insurance. Since he's
Mhm.
law enforcement, but without insurance, it would be about $1,400 per month without insurance.
Wow.
hmm
Now, doesn't
But
that sound like a lot? Because I've heard
oh,
prices as low as 300 a month.
yes, so
Or
that
is
is a
that
lot.
BS?
You can shop through different places to get,
Mhm.
but with my insurance, the way my insurance does it, I was told to download an app, and they gave me a scale, and as long as I do what my insurance tells me and I use the scale they've given me to weigh in and check in and count my food, it's $25 a month for me.
Wow.
hmm
So
So
wait
each
a minute.
insurance though, each insurance plan though has different requirements if it covers
So
it or
what
not.
you're telling me is that you are required to, like, in a sense, journal or document
hmm
um the it's almost like something else is on the line, actually. That's why I'm like moving my microphone around. It's almost like there's a third line in.
Huh.
You can't
I
hear
can
it,
hear
can
you.
you,
I can
Alexa?
hear you clear.
And you can't hear anybody else talking.
Mm-mm.
Okay, because it's almost like there's a different line in my head. I have headphones on. So
Okay.
as long as and if you and I can hear, okay,
Yeah.
that means it's probably recording okay. I just am thinking like so if I seem distracted,
No, it's fine. But
that is why.
I can hear you.
Um
I can hear you fine.
Good. I just am having
Mhm.
a hard time. But so and you I can hear you fine too. I just
Okay.
hear another party, another conversation going on. Um oh, this is a good question. Any
Okay.
expectation? Okay, wait. We're in getting started, but this doesn't sound like a getting started question. Any expectations versus reality moments? So,
Mm.
Steve, it sounds like there's like another conversation almost going on.
Turn down the TV.
Like we're hooked up in a line, but Alexa said she's fine. So I'm going to keep going. I mean, we're
Okay.
live, so I'm just
Yeah.
going to keep going. Any expectations versus reality moments? Like, are you, I'm not really sure what that means. Like, and it might be a question more for later down the line. So
Okay.
let me be clear. Let me clarify. How long have you been on the
I started
medication?
in January,
Okay,
so
you said that. I apologize. So
it's been almost 3 months, and
okay,
in 3 months, I've lost 30 pounds.
Ooh,
Which I was
okay.
not
So that
expecting
sounds
that.
great. So that's
Yeah.
almost like 10 pounds a month.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like healthy. That's not too fast.
Right. And
Do you know
that's
what
what's
I'm
really,
saying?
and that's what's great.
Let me send her a new link.
Pardon me?
And why
Let's just
I'm
send her
really,
a new link and try it again. It
Oh,
might be a line crossed.
okay. So,
Alexis, I'm going to email you a new link.
okay.
So let's disconnect real quick and then just hit the new link. I think we're just crossing
Okay.
someone's line coming in or something. Okay.
Okay.
okay, cool. All right. Hold that thought. Okay,
So this is
cool.
where you babble for a minute. Says all about
I can
whatever,
do
like,
that. I can do that. I can do that. And I was kind of tripping up on my questions anyway. So you came at a perfect time. It'll give me a chance to get my poop in a group before we get her back.
So I don't hear anything now. So that's definitely something.
Did you hear something too?
on her end? I wonder if she had another window minimized or something like that. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Well,
I thought it was the TV stuff. I thought it was March Madness.
I
at
actually
first.
thought it was like my.
So let me see. Let's see what happens.
I just thought maybe I had something on, but she couldn't hear anything. So, and she, you know, it's no big deal.
I don't know her setup.
I actually don't really either, but
of course we jinx it. I'm like, yeah, we never had a problem with this guest before.
well, it doesn't matter. We're good. Friday afternoon, like you said, I can babble. Her experience so far. So it's some really interesting information talking about how insurance does actually regulate. She has to do check-ins, which is really good. I'm happy to hear that. Because I've always had a lot of questions about this medication. And granted, I get to ask her what during our workouts, but a lot of times during our workouts, we're really focusing on our workouts. And I know that some days, she's not feeling too well because she'll say, I just took the shot. And I'll get into that with her when she calls back.
I'm here.
Yeah, there she is. Alexis, do you have any other like windows minimized on your computer?
Oh no, I'm on my phone.
Oh yeah. So you're getting so we're getting someone's cell phone conversation or something.
Okay, because it is back.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, as long as they don't say anything that they don't want the whole world to hear on our podcast, I guess it's fine. But I'm going to keep going. And it's Friday afternoon. It's just we have more guests on our podcast than we expected. I wanted to go back on sometimes when you would come in for your sessions, you would say, I just took the shot. I'm not feeling that good. Tell me, what does when you take the medication and how often do you have to take it?
Yeah, so you take it once a week. So
Okay.
I take mine on Monday evenings because
it is a shot.
It is. So I was a bit of a weenie at first, but then I got used to it. Not gonna lie. So
how do you take the shot? I see on the commercials it's like right in your tummy.
Yeah, so I have the pen one, so it's not like just me jabbing myself with a needle. It looks like a little pen, and you unlock it, and then you put it, and you just push the button. So that makes it a little bit less intimidating.
Does it hurt?
Just like a little pinch. It's really not bad at all.
Okay.
No, I was just a bit of a weenie because I don't like needles.
Do you take it in the morning, afternoon, or night?
No, I do. So it doesn't matter. They say it doesn't matter when you take it, but I take it in the evening because the weight loss doctor recommended it. The doctor who I go to once a month and do checkups with, because the first 24 hours are when the symptoms can be rough. So like a common one is nausea.
And what are the symptoms?
Nausea is really common. Because it's like slowing down your digestion. If you're not eating enough protein and not enough high fiber foods, you can get constipated. However, I don't have that problem, but I know a lot of people can. In some cases, especially when you up a dose, it can make your stomach really sensitive. And if you overeat within that 24-hour period, it can make you vomit. But it shouldn't be like that
Have
all the
you
time.
had any of those symptoms?
I would say the nausea for sure, but it only lasts like a day, you know?
Okay.
So even though it's uncomfortable, it sucks, but it's just a day, if that,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly. How have you and I wanted to go back a little bit too, how you said the insurance company, you have to check in with the insurance company and maybe not journal, but you're letting them know how often about what you're eating,
Mhm.
and you said you
Water,
have to weigh yourself.
yes.
So can you be more clear about that? Do you download an app or something? Are they really watching what
Uh,
you're eating?
so for my insurance company, it's called the Omada app. Now, each insurance company might have different requirements. So, this is for like I have Centera, like Optima, whatever. So you can for each day you can log your food, you can log your water intake, and you can weigh yourself, and the scale sends it to the app.
So you can do this, or you're required to
I'm
do this?
required I'm
Okay.
required to interact with the app at least 8 times a month. How
Oh, okay.
I have to weigh myself at least once a week through the app. I do it every day because that's just me. And I think it doesn't hurt to log your food. It takes 5 seconds. So,
No, I appreciate that. You know how much I'm for logging food, and
yeah.
I want to log food again for myself. I've been
Yeah.
kind of, just because I've been kind of stressed, and I started it, and then I kind of went off, and we talked
Yeah.
about this a couple weeks ago, that when you go through stressful times, it's not always logging your food for weight loss. You're logging your
Right.
food to make sure that you're getting enough food in, because I would
Exactly.
assume with this medication, does it take your hunger away?
Oh, yes. It
So
absolutely does. And to counter the nausea, I realized drink water with some lemon.
mhm.
Drink water with some lemon. That helps the nausea go away. Because
Do
I
they
feel like
require you to drink a lot of water when you're on this drug?
they want you to be drinking a lot of water. They want at least 64 ounces a day, which is, for me, me, that's really hard for me.
Mhm.
I do my best to meet the goal, but I do notice when I meet the goal, even if I don't want to, I do feel better
I
for
do
it.
want you to, because 64
So,
ounces actually isn't that much, but they
yeah.
require it, the medication, and I would assume it.
Mhm.
At least you're
Is
probably.
it?
Is it helping you drink more?
It is.
Good.
It is. And
Good.
I think a lot of people don't realize that they're just not eating enough protein.
Right.
And we've even before the medication I was on it, we've talked about this.
Oh yeah.
People just aren't eating enough protein. And especially since I've gotten on the medication, I can feel in my body when I've not had enough protein.
Really? Tell me why.
I think
Lethargic?
lethargic, like when you get hangry.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's really interesting, and I don't know if there's any correlation to this because Mac and I, my husband, were talking about this. I've noticed, especially after being on the medication, I feel really good after eating red meat. I don't
Oh.
and I don't know if there's some correlation to that. I don't know. But like we'll get, how Food Line will like put stuff on sale with the manager special for steaks or whatever. And so we'll get
Of
like one of
course.
those
Me
and
and you are
split.
right there.
And so my husband will get like a pack of steaks that are on sale and grill it. And I feel so good after eating the steak. So I don't know if there's a correlation. I'm not like a doctor or whatever. I don't know if there's a correlation or not, but boy, do I feel better. Like really good.
I do too.
You
I
know?
personally feel good when I eat best when I eat red meat.
Yeah.
Even compared to fish or chicken. And I
Yeah.
don't know
So,
why. And I love salmon and
yeah,
I
I
always
love
get that when I'm
salmon
at a restaurant. But I I just feel best when I eat red meat. And I think that goes back more to blood type.
too.
But it is interesting how this medication for you personally, you
Mhm.
feel best when, so there probably is something to do with, because it is it probably does have something to do with the blood. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I just,
Yeah.
like you said, we're not doctors. We're just
Yeah,
going,
no.
I wonder. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Which stinks
Um,
because you know how expensive red meat is. So,
I know, right? But I
yeah.
like when that manager's special, he comes out with that yellow
Right?
sticker gun and I'm right
Yeah.
on him. I am on him. I've made friends with the butcher up at the Food Lion.
Yeah.
It doesn't give me any perks, trust me, but at least I know he gave me the hint that Monday afternoons, if you're local, Virginia Beach,
Yeah.
by Monday 1 p.m. he's got the yellow stickers out
Yeah.
on. You come
Yeah.
in
I
after
know
1 and
all the
he's
workers
done.
at the food line down from the street just because I'm there all the time. I cook every day. So,
I'm trying to catch,
yeah.
and I like that now that I go to the grocery store a lot more, you catch more sales. I can't
Yes.
decide if it makes me buy more or if I'm actually saving money. I just know that I'm eating better and I used to think the grocery store was taboo and now I don't. I
Yeah.
like the workers. I look
Yeah.
at it as, you live in your neighborhood, get out, talk to your people, go to I catch
Yeah.
more sales, you know.
Yeah.
Side
And then,
effects and challenges, we did that on our own. What's been surprisingly easy,
mhm.
would you say, about this? What has been
um,
surprisingly easy?
I think one of the things that's been surprisingly easy is part of the fact is that, about a year ago, we really started eating really clean. So it wasn't like
Uh-huh.
it wasn't, and it wasn't like it was a harsh transition for me because
No,
already, I was already had the tools in my toolkit where we were eating the right things and doing the right things.
I
Um,
love that.
where based off my conversations with my weight loss doctor, a lot of people are coming in, they don't have the tools in their toolkit already.
No,
So I
I
feel like if I've
know.
already got the advantage of
Yeah.
of the and then so
Yeah.
that was nice, and having movement already in my life consistently.
Right. That's
Hmm.
such a good point, and,
Yeah.
it is hard. Yeah, like, this is such a big lifestyle change for so many people where they have to learn how to eat, they have to
Yeah.
learn how to move. You're probably the easy client. They're like, "Oh, thank God it's Alexis today.
Right.
This one's easy." You know what I mean? They just take your numbers, go, "Good girl," and you move on. But yeah, so it's like I think that point should be made that it really is a lifestyle change,
It
and
is.
it's really good for you. Like, you were a perfect candidate for this, where you were already had good habits. Like you said it perfectly. You had all the tools in your toolkit.
Hmm.
You just were frustrated because it wasn't working.
Right.
And what has been unexpectedly hard, and
Mhm.
maybe we already touched that with the water, but you made it sound like you're drinking more
I
because
am. I am. But it's still hard though. And um one of the things I've noticed, I think, and I'm not sure if it's just, I think it's because of the medication. I'm I'm really a morning person, but I've noticed since being on the medication, it's harder for me to get up and going in the morning. It takes me more time to feel awake. Um
okay.
so I don't, like I said, this all new to me too, so maybe that's just from the medication. I don't know. But
How
once
are
I'm
you sleeping? I can't believe I forgot to ask that. I'm so glad you said that. Are you able to fall asleep okay?
For the most part, I think so. Sometimes at the end of the day, and I know this is from the medication because I've read on different blogs of people and stuff. You can get indigestion if you eat crap food, you get the indigestion, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like on Sundays, and I'll call myself out. On Sundays, we do pizza night because it's just easy. Because our
Right.
Sundays are so crazy, and I pay for it every single Sunday. But I'm still gonna eat one slice of pizza because why not?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing
Yeah.
with you. I swear.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I
Yeah,
know. Because
I
our
get it.
Sundays are
I
so crazy. But I eat the slice of pizza and I know it's gonna give me indigestion. So I pop the Tums, but it's just one slice of it's not like I'm not having 3 or 4 slices of pizza. I couldn't. Because
and
I
you
would feel
couldn't because of the medication?
yeah. I would feel
Oh, so it
I would get
really does
sick.
mess with your appetite, you're
And
saying.
what's interesting, because my mom and I were talking about this, I think it messes with like your taste buds and your palate in some ways because I really like
Ooh.
I like spicy foods,
Mhm.
but I've noticed I've been more sensitive to spice lately.
In a negative where it
In a
makes it
negative. It's like when you're pregnant and
yeah,
you try to eat
yes.
spicy food and it just does not sit well. I've noticed that as well, which I think is really interesting. But you know what? Not necessarily a bad thing, right?
Well, yeah, you're right. Nothing is foolproof.
No,
And
no.
these are interesting. This is interesting because like you said, for somebody else it could be worse.
Mhm.
And whoever's listening can go, "Oh yeah," like maybe they're on it and
Right,
they
right.
realize
And
it's
everyone has
not
a
just
different
them
experience.
or
Yeah,
yes, like you said, everybody's gonna have a different experience.
yeah,
Any jitters, anything does it like I joked around like thinking it was more like speed, but it's really not. It's an appetite suppressant. You
right.
don't
From
feel jittery. It's not
no,
caffeine or
no.
okay.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
What is your caffeine intake? Does it change when you're on the medication? Like, do you crave coffee or does it just make no difference at all?
Yeah, I personally don't think it makes a difference. I still have my 1 cup of tea a day.
Mhm.
But I don't know if it's just me because I already didn't like breakfast to begin with. I'm just not hungry at all in the mornings and I don't want to eat squat, but I drink a protein shake anyway and force it down and then I'm good.
Good. So you
Yeah.
do drink and you've been really
Mhm.
good about the protein shakes in the morning since you've been taking the medicine, or were you already doing it before the medicine?
Not consistently before the medicine.
I would have guessed that.
Yeah, because you know me.
I just
Yeah,
as your
yeah,
coach and friend,
yeah.
I felt like that was a struggle for you, but now that you're on the meds, it's helping you definitely
It
do it.
it is because if I don't get the protein in the morning, I feel like crap to lunch.
I'm personally glad. I feel bad that you feel like crap, but the reason why I want that protein in so bad is because if you all don't eat when you're on something like this, it's
Yeah,
gonna take your muscle.
yeah,
Because, I mean, granted, you think it's working on just the fat, and it is, but it could possibly get into your
yeah.
muscle if you're not feeding the body the protein it needs. It's
Hmm.
gonna get it from somewhere.
Yeah, and
So
that's
that's where I
what
get
the weight
nervous.
loss
Yeah.
doctor said. And that's why she's so glad I do Pilates twice a week so I don't lose muscle. So
I
just plugging
know.
Karen in there.
And girl, you are muscular. You're very muscular
Mhm.
already. DNA
Yeah.
wise, the way that you're built, you have a beautiful curvy figure.
Mhm.
Even heavy set, you look good. So, and healthy. People associate health with I can't even say the word skinny in the same sentence as health
Right.
because skinny to me is like ugh, cringe,
Right.
that's personal though. That's my own personal because
Mhm.
to some people, skinny is desirable.
Right.
But skinny to me means negative things. It doesn't sound yummy at all. It sounds undernourished, which is always like, oh, for me,
Right.
because I'm always
Right.
trying to nourish, because I'm trying to build. So, curvy girls, fluffy girls, I tend to be more calm with that. Even though
Yeah.
I know that you all struggle with losing weight sometimes, like somebody like yourself, which is like, because I feel like you can often fix that.
Right.
Skinny is, you're kind of like, why are they undernourished? But that's a whole different podcast. But anyway, I love that you're willing to eat food. You're not scared. You feel better on those protein drinks in the
Yeah.
morning. So your muscle, because once you get rid of that overcoat of fluffiness, there's
Mhm.
muscle under there. And
Yeah.
I don't want anything getting to that. What kind of support? So this kind of goes into, you and I have been training, but you get support at
Yeah.
home too, don't you? Have you, do
Oh yeah.
you feel like you do? And if you don't, that's part of some people's
Yeah.
journey too.
I would definitely say so. My husband likes it. So
Does he? I always
yeah.
kind of was worried that Mac would be like, don't get her skinny. No, no. And I don't think that would ever happen to you,
Yeah.
like
And
that.
then my
You know
parents are
too
really
much about
supportive.
how nourishment is important.
Mm-hmm. And my parents
I
have been really
know.
supportive. So
Good,
yeah, and
good. And
I gotta say, the team of that I go through, the dietitian and the doctor have been so wonderful as well.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Friendly, kind. So you're
Yeah.
just adding goodness in your
Yeah.
life, even through practitioners. Is there any kind of group that there probably is there any kind of support groups that you could probably get involved in? And if
I'm
not through
sure.
insurance, probably Facebook.
I'm sure there are. I don't feel like I need one
Mhm.
since I have this, but I'm sure
Right,
there are.
right.
I'm sure there are though. And what's really
I'm
interesting
sure there
is,
are too, because there's every kind of group on Facebook. So if somebody didn't have the support or didn't have somebody to talk to or whatever,
oh
there's
yeah.
definitely, I'm sure,
Oh,
platforms for
absolutely.
them to go to. What habits have you been building alongside? Which I almost skipped over this question, but sometimes when I do that, I I regret it. So have you been building? Have you been getting any other habits?
Um,
The
not
protein,
the
drinking
protein,
that
I would
shake every
say.
morning. Yeah.
And then I really hated weighing myself before this. Like
Oh,
really hated it because it was always so defeating. But I'm not afraid of the number
this is good.
anymore because I know you know
Yay.
this. It's been such a big like the number on the scale has always been such a horrible mental block for me. But now that I've gotten into the habit of daily weighing myself, I think it's been because some people can take that and like focus on it in a really bad way.
Mhm.
And I used to do that and get like really frustrated and upset with like beat myself up because of the number. But now I feel like that number is empowering because it's showing me that my work is actually paying off.
That's so
Yeah.
fantastic. And um tell me, have there been times when the number plateaued or went
Um,
up?
I haven't had that issue yet. I know
Okay.
it does happen and it can
Mhm.
happen. So when it does happen, I'll be prepared for that. Um, but oh,
So it's really been consistently going down.
mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow. That's awesome.
And then what's
That's really cool.
also been nice, it's like this process has made me even more aware of my body and how my body feels than before. Because I'm having to look and go, how am I feeling today? What is my body doing today? what is my body liking, or what it's made me really focus, because I feel like as a mom, I have my focus on other people all the time, where this has really helped me realize, like, it's okay to look at yourself and go, what's going on internally, what's going on externally, and take that time, even if it's like a 2-minute checkup while I'm on the scale, like, and just think, like, what does my body need today? That shift of mindset of taking care of myself has really come forward
I
in
love
that
that
way.
because you
Yeah.
just answered. Yeah, like, because I was just going to ask you how your mindset around weight,
Hmm.
health,
Yeah.
self-care has
Yeah.
shifted. Are you saying that you're more willing to spend time on yourself
Yes.
since this is happening, since you've invited this into your life? Because it was a choice.
Hmm.
Um, and does it
And
feel
ask
good to
more
do
questions.
something for you?
Yeah. And ask more questions, like, why has it always been a struggle? And so I did, when I had my, like, regular female checkup, and I had a really good
Mhm.
discussion with the female doctor
Mhm.
about, like, what's been going on. And so I finally felt like I was listened to by a female doctor. And I feel like it has helped me find my voice with that, this journey, because why is it so hard for me to, like, my whole life, to lose the weight? So I ended up actually going and getting a pelvic ultrasound done, and I'm 29, and
Okay.
I have a uterine fibroid at 29 years old, and there's polyps on my
Rare?
huh?
Is that rare?
Um it's it's more like some people have it, some people don't. It's like a genetic thing. So, like, my mom had those, my aunts have had those issues, and they found polyps on one of my ovaries. So that means
Doesn't
I
it
might have
have like a PS? Can you name what it's
PCOS,
called?
polycystic ovarian syndrome, which I never thought I had, because one of the symptoms that's typically associated with polycystic ovarian syndrome is when there's cysts on your ovaries, is that you have infertility issues. So I never thought I would have had something like that,
Mhm.
because I had no issue getting pregnant.
Right.
um, but apparently it can present itself in different ways. And one of
Mhm.
those ways is with like, your body just goes into fight mode and doesn't want you to lose the weight. So I do have.
I was going to say, would you suggest to women considering to go on this medication to get checked for this
I
kind of
would.
thing?
I
Mhm.
would. But you have to find, and if your doctor doesn't want to listen to you, get a new doctor.
Yeah.
And, like, because I feel like a lot of people are, like, afraid to ask these questions. But that's what they're there for, you know? So I'm
Well,
I'm meeting with
I
the
think
OB
you were
tech.
very candid. I'm sorry.
Oh no. I think people are You're right. I think people are afraid to be candid with their doctors.
Well, I appreciated how you were saying how I think people feel when they're overweight. I
Mhm.
think they feel like it's their fault.
Mhm.
I think it's can feel shame based.
Mhm.
You
Absolutely.
can feel guilty.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, the conversation that's going on inside my head, other than the voices inside, I sound like I'm crazy. It's really legit. That's why I seem distracted. I'm kind of trying to get around. I can even tell it's a female. I feel like
Huh.
there's someone else in our conversation. But anyway, I feel like there's so much shame and guilt and negative feelings that go along with being overweight that
Absolutely.
that's why I think people might avoid the conversation because they A don't want to talk about it and B feel like it's their fault anyway.
Mhm.
And
Oh
that
yeah.
this doctor is just going to say that. So why even talk about it? Because
Mm,
you don't feel like being shamed. That would be a guess of
yeah.
mine. Because I'm a very shame. I've dealt with shame in an unhealthy way for my own addiction problems that
Right.
aren't
And the comparison game. The
right.
comparison
It's
game
not,
is so
and
awful.
all of that stuff. And it's addiction is addiction, whether it's food, whether it's drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever,
Right.
shopping. You
Mhm.
know, like we would think shopping, well, that's no big deal, but it could be.
Oh,
So
yeah.
anybody that has to deal with anything like that always has to deal with the guilt and shame that goes with it.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's why I feel so comfortable with people that are dealing with overeating or stuff like that.
Mhm.
I share with them that I'm from the recovery world, and everybody kind of just goes, ah, yeah, you
Yeah.
get it. And it all
Yeah.
comes with, shame. So I would assume that's a lot of the reason why it's not
Yeah.
talked about as much. It's like
Right.
you would think it was your fault anyway.
Mhm.
But to hear this, can you repeat it's what is this thing?
PCOS. And to be honest,
PCOS, because I had a female from the time that I saw you this morning, and because I talked about that I was going to do this podcast, one of
okay.
the gals that I worked with virtually,
Mhm.
young woman in her 30s, has
Mhm.
the same diagnosis.
Oh.
Same thing, was told, and this is my belief. I'm not a doctor, but I think whenever you are dealing with cysts on your ovaries, that's a hormonal thing.
It is.
And
It is.
we all know that hormones make havoc on weight.
Mhm.
And I like how you said the fight or flight feeling, your body is just holding on to that weight for protection.
Mhm.
And granted, I took anatomy and phys in college, but that's it. It's all,
Yeah.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
And it all makes so much sense, doesn't it?
It does. I feel like I'm finally being
That
listened to.
and
You know.
validated.
Yes.
Like, see, like it's not all because of, you finally feel like, see, I really have been trying,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I think, because my one question was, what would you tell somebody who's considering GLP-1 medication? Other than
Yeah.
this, is there anything else that you would suggest?
If you don't have a workout routine, get one. Find something you love.
Okay.
Try out classes. Figure out what you like and stick with it. Pilates, I could do every day and be happy and never get bored with it. If I could go to Karen's every day, I would. Like, no joke, I'm being serious. And
I know
I'm
you
being
would.
serious.
You
Yeah.
need a lottery.
Give
But
me
you
$1
gotta
million.
play the lottery in order to win it. I know.
So
I
find what you
know.
love.
What
Because
goals?
there's so much you could do, but find what you love. It doesn't have to kill
Right,
you.
exactly.
It doesn't have to
Even
be
if it's walk
CrossFit.
around the block.
Yeah.
So you're suggesting to somebody that if they're considering they're on the fence, to think about that they are going to have to deal with food and exercise,
Yeah.
even though
And if
it's
you
not
don't
just a magic pill.
no, and if you're unsure about where to start with food, um either I don't know, like most insurances cover dietitians. And
Okay.
find a dietitian or just YouTube. YouTube's
Okay.
free, but
I agree.
you get my biggest thing, and I think you would agree with me, is you need to eat more protein, period.
Yeah.
More protein, protein,
Yeah.
protein.
What are you most proud of? For yourself.
Um,
And I mean, and I don't try and put it on what are you proud of
yeah.
yourself for with this?
I think sticking it out
Mm-hmm.
and not being afraid of the scale anymore.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that. What have
And
you
all my
learned
clothes
about
are loose.
yourself?
And all my
All
clothes
your
are loose and
Well, I
falling off
like
my
how you
butt.
said this morning, why go shopping now? I'm just going to have to do it again. So I
Yeah.
want to know that, like, what are your goals moving forward? How long are you planning to
Um,
continue this?
I don't know yet,
Okay.
to be honest.
That's fair. That just gives me a reason to have you on again.
Yeah. So
It's
we'll
open-ended.
see. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. I just want to be the healthiest version of myself that I could possibly be. That's my goal.
So you don't have a goal number. Or this is a good question. Are you stuck on the scale on the numbers, or are you going by the mirror?
I'm personally going more by the mirror.
Yeah, I always do too.
Yeah.
I do
So
too. Because that's what matters. That's what everybody sees. But then we often have to remember that we have a skewed vision of what
I
everybody
know.
sees too.
I know.
Like
Yes.
if we could just see ourselves like everybody else sees us, we'd be a lot
Right.
nicer. But that's a different podcast. But I know what you mean. Okay. So
Yeah.
you're not getting hung up on the numbers.
Mm-mm.
And what have you learned about yourself?
I feel like I've learned a lot. I feel like I've learned that I don't have all the answers. And that's okay.
Oh.
I feel like, everyone wants to feel like they have it all together all the time, and I've learned that I don't, and that is okay with me.
And how do you mind me asking how old you are?
Oh, I'm 29.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're learning that young. Yeah, because a lot of us hang on to that for long past 29. Yeah, it's okay to not have all the answers, isn't it? I
It
lucked out and
is.
learned that one young too. And
Thank
I go
God
to
I
people
don't.
for everything. I
I wouldn't
know.
want to
Who
have all the
wants to? I don't
answers.
want to know everything.
No. I think also being a mom of 2 kids, that helps that too. My son will ask me
And
some
before I
crazy
let you go,
Uh-huh.
wait, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, I was saying my son Luke will ask me some of the craziest questions. I'll be like, I don't know, buddy.
I know that's when you really learn that you don't have all the answers, because the
Yeah.
kids will ask and ask and ask and ask.
Yeah.
Do you think, how does this affect your family? How has this journey affect your family? And that almost sounds like it has to be negative. It doesn't. Do you feel like you are different in any way? More patient?
I try. I just I don't know if it's an obvious effect, but like I want my kids to see me be the healthiest that I can be, so they can have that desire to be moving, to be active, to have fun, and to feel their best
Good.
too. So I hope that by me using all the tools in my toolbox, they'll see that and they'll want that for themselves as well.
And so far, so good. Because
Yeah.
your whole family are movers and shakers, all of them. I mean,
Yeah.
Luke's in baseball and Colette's just moving around all the time anyway. And she'll find her, she's too little yet, but she'll find her place. I think you're a
Exactly.
fantastic mother. And that's not even, I think you're representing well, you're showing to all of us, to young women, your children, everybody, how to deal with a problem that's very, very common, and how to use this medicine responsibly. And I appreciate you sharing your journey, and hopefully you'll be open to coming back on in another 3 months
You know that I will.
and see where you're going. Because like you said, you really don't know what the end goal is, and that's interesting. And I can't wait to, I'm privileged to watch you on this journey, and I'm privileged to work with you every week. And I love you, Alexis. There,
I
it's
love you
all
too,
out for
Karen.
the world to hear. I really do. And I'm so grateful that you are in my life, and all the aspects that you are, how many hats you wear in my life. And thank you so much for coming on and being a guest and being so vulnerable and sharing this with us. I appreciate you more than you know. So
Love you,
I
Karen.
hope you have. I love you too. Gushy, gushy, gush, gush. I really do, and I know I'll spare everybody that, but I really do. But I this was so interesting and I knew it was gonna be. And I also know it's open-ended because I know I'll be like, darn it, I wish I would have asked that. But I think we covered everything on here and I won't take any more of your time. I know you
Okay.
got to get back to being a mom.
I know.
Thanks
I
for
gotta get
sharing your
Coletta.
break.
I gotta get Coletta from her nap now, rats.
Well, thanks for sharing your break with us,
Yeah,
Alexis.
absolutely. Anytime. You know that, Karen.
Have the best weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Bye bye. Steve, how's your March Madness
All right.
going?
It's fun, sis.
I-
Craziness happening
I
to
bet.
left and right.
I bet. Is it like it's going on right as we talk,
Yeah,
isn't it?
our home state team, Virginia, in a lot of trouble right now.
Oh, I'm sure. It's an exciting time. My brother, I was raised around this, and yeah, it's a big deal. A big deal. So I have to thank you for taking the time out to do this with me because I know you'd rather be in front of that TV watching that basketball. So I appreciate you, Steve. Have the best day.
All right, everybody. Yeah, good weekend. Good job, sis.
Thanks.